Criminals don't usually have an easy life, and as a result, some people find they're not exactly cut out for a career of misdeeds. Most people avoid it because they know right from wrong, whilst others are drawn to or forced into this lifestyle, but are simply too stupid to pull off illegal acts successfully. The latter are the people this video will focus on. Whilst they may have fancied themselves to become a master criminal, their failed attempts may well have had them questioning their life choices. Watch now and amuse yourself with the stories of 10 of the stupidest criminals of all time. 10. Mganga. In March 2014, Mganga, a 17-year-old boy in Omaha, Nebraska, decided it would be a great idea to stick a gun in the face of a woman who was taking her son to school. He demanded that she give him her car. She did, of course, fearing for her life, and our hero was about to take off when he realised that the car had a manual transmission, which he was unable to drive. He tried to get the car moving but failed. Instead, he sat there with the lights flashing until the police arrived. He tried to run off but was caught soon after by local police. 9. Derek Mosley. You'd think that you'd put some thought into the matter if you were planning a crime, but not this guy. Derek Mosley from Beaverton, Oregon, didn't apply much brainpower before he decided to rob a gun store, armed with only a baseball bat. Obviously, he hadn't considered that the owner of a gun shop might just have weapons at his disposal. The manager pulled a gun on the wannabe robber and kept him in his sights until authorities arrived. 8. Joey Miller and Matthew McNally. This pair of Iowa idiots put a bit more thought into their crime, but not much more, or else they wouldn't be on this list. Instead of opting for the usual balaclavas or a mask, they decided to use permanent marker to disguise their faces with scribbles before breaking into an apartment. While it might have made them slightly less recognisable during the crime, permanent marker is notoriously hard to remove. This earned the duo the nickname Dumb and Dumber. Not the sharpiest tools in the shed, eh? 7. Mark Smith. If you're planning to go on a crime spree, it might be an idea to get plenty of rest beforehand. While breaking into homes must be tiring, most criminals wait until they get home before taking a nap. Not Mark Smith from North Shields, UK, who, whilst high on Valium and vodka, broke into a home and thought it was a good idea to take a nap in the homeowner's bed. He was woken up by the local police. 6. Klaus Schmidt. Schmidt, from Berlin, Germany, decided to rob a bank with a handgun. All was going to plan until the tellers asked him, "Do you need a bag?" To which Schmidt responded, "You're damn right it's a real gun." They'd come to the realisation that the robber was deaf and sounded the alarm, which notified the police, while Schmidt was none the wiser. In a funny twist, Schmidt later tried to sue the bank for seeming to abuse his disability. 5. James Blankenship. Blankenship of Willoughby, Ohio, was attempting to break into his own mother's house in broad daylight. However, he got spooked and went to hide in the crawl space. When the police found him, he was stunned. He didn't think it was possible to be arrested for burglary during the day. That's right, this fool thought he couldn't be arrested for burglary because it wasn't night time. Go figure. 4. Darren Kimpton. If you were planning a burglary, you might be thinking the best target would be an empty house. The worst? A house full of police officers, maybe? Kimpton decided to choose the latter. When he entered the house in Abingdon, UK, he came face to face with police officers already on the scene who were investigating another break-in earlier that day. Kimpton had made an earlier attempt at another house but cut himself and fled. He left blood at the scene and got nabbed for that one too. 3. Ruben Zarate. An 18-year-old man named Ruben Zarate attempted to rob a muffler store in Chicago. After demanding money, he was told that most of the cash was stored in a safe, and that could only be opened by the manager, who wasn't on site at that time. Undeterred about going away empty-handed, Zarate left his cell phone number for the store to call him back once the manager arrived. The store first called the police, and then called Zarate back. When he came back and noticed the police were waiting for him, a brief shootout took place with the cops before he was arrested. 2. Albert Bailey. Bailey and an unnamed juvenile accomplice in Fairfield, Connecticut, wanted to rob a bank. To save time when he got there, he first rang ahead to the bank and ordered them to prepare a big bag of money for him as he was coming to rob it. His intent, it would seem, was to give the bank plenty of time to get the money ready so he could just grab and go. Of course, things didn't go quite to plan for Bailey, as the bank called the authorities ahead of his arrival, and the two men were arrested by police without incident. And finally, number 1. Dennis Hawkins. A good disguise can be key to getting away with a crime, but it seems Hawkins didn't get the memo. The 48-year-old man tried to rob a bank in Pittsburgh and chose to wear a woman's blonde wig, fake breasts and bright clown pants. To make himself even more noticeable, he didn't bother to shave his beard before attempting the heist. Whilst already sticking out like a sore thumb, he then decided to steal a car at a nearby gas station. He was spotted by the attendant, who then called the police, who apprehended him a short time later.